For decades, the Abrams tank represented something absolute. Not just power, not just protection, certainty. It was the assumption that no matter how warfare evolved, the Abrams would adapt through upgrades, layers of armor, and more firepower. That belief shaped entire doctrines, entire budgets, entire generations of armored warfare. But modern war doesn't announce when it changes. It reveals itself slowly, and then all at once. In Ukraine, tanks began disappearing not because they were outdated, but because they were seen. Drones hovered silently. Sensors never blinked. Precision strikes punished hesitation. Even the best machines found themselves exposed in ways no one had planned for a decade earlier. And something unsettling became clear. The problem wasn't one tank. It wasn't one army. It wasn't even one mistake. The battlefield itself had changed. While much of the world focused on videos of destroyed vehicles and debates over which tank performed better, the US Army reached a far more uncomfortable conclusion. The Abrams could no longer be fixed with upgrades alone. What was needed wasn't an improvement, it was a reset. That realization led to something few expected. A quiet but radical decision to redesign the Abrams almost entirely, questioning assumptions that had survived for more than 40 years. The result wasn't just a new prototype, it was a warning. The original Abrams was born into a world where dominance was structured. Air superiority was assumed. Electronic warfare was limited. Enemy surveillance was fragmented and slow. In that environment, heavy armor was an advantage. Large crews were manageable, mechanical redundancy made sense. The tank didn't need to hide, it needed to endure. But the battlefield Ukraine revealed operates under different rules. Every movement is tracked, every signal leaves a trace, every delay creates vulnerability. The moment a tank is detected, it becomes part of a kill chain. One that can involve drones, artillery, loitering munitions, and precision weapons operating together. Armor thickness stopped being the decisive factor. Visibility became the enemy. Even the Abrams, designed to survive frontal engagements, was never meant to exist under constant observation. The tank assumed it would have moments of obscurity, time to reposition, time to react. That time no longer exists. Once detection became persistent, survivability shifted from protection to avoidance, and that shift undermined the very foundation the Abrams was built upon. When the US Army unveiled the M1E3 prototype, many saw a futuristic tank. That interpretation misses the point. The M1E3 is not a vision of dominance, it is a response to vulnerability. The unmanned turret is not a technological flex. It is an admission that the turret has become one of the most dangerous places to be. Moving the crew into the hull reduces exposure. Automation replaces physical presence. Sensors replace direct vision. Survival is no longer about who sees through a periscope first, but who processes information faster. Every external camera, every digital control, every remote weapon system exists for one reason: to keep humans alive in a battlefield that no longer tolerates mistakes. Even the reduced crew size reflects reality. Modern armies struggle with recruitment, training, and sustainment. The M1E3 is designed for a future where manpower is scarce and automation is unavoidable. This tank is no longer centered around crew strength. It is centered around information dominance. Calling the M1E3 a future tank is misleading. It exists because something already failed. Not American engineering, not tank warfare itself, but the belief that incremental upgrades could keep pace with a battlefield evolving exponentially. The M1E3 does not promise invulnerability. It accepts exposure as inevitable and redesigns around it. It does not seek to dominate by presence, but to survive through integration. Drones, sensors, electronic warfare, and networked systems are no longer support elements. They are the battlefield. The Abrams had to be redesigned not because it was obsolete, but because modern warfare stopped rewarding brute strength alone. The most important lesson of the M1E3 has nothing to do with tanks. It is about adaptability. If the world's most iconic main battle tank had to be redesigned from the ground up, no system is immune. No doctrine is permanent. No reputation guarantees relevance. Future wars will not be decided by singular platforms, no matter how advanced. They will be decided by systems that learn, adapt, and react faster than their opponents. The M183 is not the final answer. It is a signal that the era of unquestioned armored dominance is over, and that survival now depends on understanding the battlefield before the battlefield understands you.